Ladies and gentlemen of the future Fandation Nation, hello. Welcome back. It's been a quick minute. Hi.
It has been a very, very quick minute.
Hello, Gabe. How are you?
Doing all right. Doing all right. Just getting through work.
Yeah, getting through work. Welcome back, guys. My name is Fernie, one of your co-hosts here with Gabe, as always. It's been definitely a week. Our last episode was last Friday, right?
Last Friday, yeah.
Last Friday. It's been a week, but I mean we're both back at work, so we both got kind of like pulled back. You know, we both work at Disney, if you know us. So it's been interesting being back and being back into the flow of everything, and like now starting to get back to our grinds and everything. It's kind of been exhausting. I don't know about you, Gabe.
It's been rough. I'm definitely out of shape, and like,
yeah, man,
I'm getting tired way faster than I normally would have.
100%. Dude, like, and I got new shoes, man. My feet have been killing me. My feet are like, dude, why'd you do this to us? Like, why the fuck did you
My
get new
first
shoes?
2 days back, actually, like working. Oh my gosh, I was waddling to my car because like my feet were in so much pain.
Well, I was in actual physical pain, but you know, it's kind of nice being back in the grind for a little bit. You know, like getting used to it, kind of getting back in that flow of regular life and time. But whatever. Enough about real life, Gabe. Because we come to Fandation to escape real life. We come to Fandation to talk about everything nerdy and stuff that's happening. And it's been a crazy week, to be honest. You know,
It has.
Before we hop into Falcon the Winter Soldier episode 5 and Invincible episode 6, which we will talk about towards the end of the episode. Let's talk about all these Spider-Man news that's happening today. Absolutely nuts. So, Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus himself, has confirmed, straight up just confirmed, that he's in coming back in Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's gonna be not only that, is Sam Raimi version, and it's gonna
the Sam Raimi version.
It's literally gonna,
it's gonna pick
continue.
up where it left off.
Like, what? What does that mean?
He literally just said, "Yeah, we're doing Spider-Verse. I don't care about what Marvel or Sony said. I'm releasing all this."
That's ballsy.
I mean, he's only doing one movie, right? More than likely, he's probably only gonna do this one more movie, so he's probably like, I don't care.
Hey, dog, that makes sense. That's the most Dr. Octopus thing you can do, dog. Just like not give a fuck about what's going.
Create chaos.
Create chaos. I saw this video of Alfred Molina on the Sam Raimi set singing Fiddler on the Roof. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
Oh, it's so funny. It's him. He's like, if I was a rich boy, and like in the background, the extras are just like are moving his hooks, are moving his claws.
Oh my god!
Because they're practical. It's like, dude, I was just picturing that. I was picturing that the whole time while all the interview was happening. But not only that, you know, we hear that Dr. Octopus is coming, and you know that's basically now confirmed with Alfred Molina. Also, heavy rumors that Willem Dafoe is 100% coming back, and this is where I mix this up because you've heard rumors about this too as well,
right?
But so from like what we basically what I've gathered, what the rumor and like it's going around is that Willem Dafoe is gonna be his version from Sam Raimi that's gonna hop into our 616. And the rumor is that he's going to kill our Norman and remain as the main Norman. But I don't know how much I believe that one. But what did you hear?
So basically, same thing. That the Avengers Tower is bought out by Oscorp in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And that like Peter kind of has like a relationship somewhat with Norman Osborn in the MCU. And Norman's been hearing... like he's been communicating with someone what he believes to be like, I guess, like the multiverse or whatever, and he's trying to connect all the universes together, and it's really just Norman Osborn from the Sam Raimi verse,
yeah,
who is going to basically get him to make the machine so he can come over, kill him, and take over and create the Sinister Six or whatever is what I've heard is what's gonna be the end goal. Because he's going to manipulate the Sinister Six into fighting the Spider-Man and kill him.
Because we've heard we've heard that there's this crazy set piece going on with the Statue of Liberty. Um,
Mhm.
a lot of people are saying that this set piece, this action fight scene is going to happen at the Statue of Liberty between all of them, like kind of like a mini Sinister Six fight. Um, I actually think I told you a little bit this before, like on the text, that maybe Sam Captain America could be in No Way Home. I think he's just a character we don't think about, but
Mhm.
I think he could definitely be in it because like I was thinking about it and it's like okay, Sam is a character. He's not gonna get a movie, right? Um,
Right.
and they're not gonna make another Captain America movie starring him
He's just
realistically.
gonna be in other people's stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So I think realistically, I was trying to like do the math. I was like, all right, where can he end up? You know what I'm saying? Like, where can Sam Falcon end up? I was like, he could probably come back in Armor Wars. He could probably come back in Miss Marvel, but I don't think he will. And maybe Secret Invasion, right? Those are all shows he could come back. Movie wise, I don't see him coming out in like Shang-Chi, Eternals. Like it's gonna be movie wise, it's gonna be like the Avengers, right? It's gonna be a while. But
Yeah.
maybe he could come out in Spider-Man. Like it makes a little more sense being a grounded character in New York. And then with all the things happening in New York right now with the GRC at the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 5, I'm going on to episode 6. You know, I could see maybe Falcon being in the area for some reason. And there's also has been a set photo of the Statue of Liberty, like a poster of the Statue of Liberty, and this is actually a confirmed set photo from Spider-Man: No Way Home, and it's like a bus stop, and it's like and the bus stop has a photo of the Statue of Liberty. It's like a drawing, and Statue of Liberty has Captain America's shield instead of her torch, and it says meet the newest, tallest Avenger," right?
Yeah.
So that picture definitely like goes together with the possible rumor that they're going to be fighting around the Statue of Liberty. But that specifically is very interesting to me. Like, why does the Statue of Liberty have the shield? I was like, does the end of Falcon and Winter Soldier eventually lead to a point where the shield is more Captain America is more than just Sam? It's more of like maybe Falcon makes or Sam makes Captain America more of the symbol than an actual person, right? And maybe that's the whole idea of the Statue of Liberty having the shield. Um,
Mhm.
so that's why I think Sam could like possibly be in No Way Home, and it's another adventure cat like crossover with him. So maybe not like a prominent part. Remember, just like a small help with a quick fight scene because homie's got some new wings. We'll talk about later. But
I wonder if the end credit scene could possibly be Falcon kind of doing like a maybe like a Nick Fury type thing, and he shows up to like Peter Parker and kind of like maybe trying to create the Young Avenger initiative. Like we need more than one team to handle things, you know.
bro, I I didn't even think of that. Holy crap!
Because
That's
what if we get more teases of Miles at the end of this movie with the Spider Verse?
man, I would be awesome.
And what if he says, "What do you know someone or something?" You know, like teasing at Miles Morales.
Oh, and then Peter was like, "No, I don't know anyone." But like, because I was about to say like Peter really wouldn't know, but
Yeah,
yeah. And then the best way they could do Miles is just say he didn't get snapped.
yeah.
If Miles didn't get snapped, he'd be 5 years older, so he wouldn't be like that young nephew of the Prowler anymore. And
Mhm.
if Childish Gambino's Prowler didn't get snapped, that could explain how in 5 years he turned into a crazy like fucking killer in person because he had a
That he could have gotten his powers within the blip period, but doesn't know how to use them.
true 100%.
So
Oh man, dude, that'd be so sick. I don't know if No Way Home would do Miles though. I'm low key worried that Sony wants to keep Miles for themselves. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Like I feel like that's something Sony
how
would
cool
do.
would it be though? Like if they show just like similar how they kind of like how Iron Man had like the footage of like Tom Holland Spider-Man,
Uh-huh.
like in his just like whatever suit. Whatever, there's just like footage of like of Miles Morales' Spider-Man, kind of like not playing with his webs or anything, but like experimenting with like climbing walls and stuff, like being caught on CCT footage or whatever. Just because he's like, I don't know, my powers and stuff. Like he doesn't get how to use them,
That'd be
or
so
seeing him
nuts,
like
dude.
disappear, like as he's walking
Oh,
through.
because he become invisible. Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be so cool, dude. I would actually freak. Like I wouldn't know because I love Miles. He's one of my favorite characters. Like he's half Latino, bro. He's like
Yeah.
he's got my flavor. He's half representing me, and I love it. It's like in the Spider-Man Miles Morales game that just came out, like so fucking good. You haven't played it, dude?
No, because I've been like trying to hold off till I get a PS5, but I don't think I think I have to get the PS4 version.
Yeah, honestly, it's not even that. Like it looks beautiful. Like I have the PS4. Like it looks so good. It runs fucking perfect. Like I think I watched Aaron play it on his PS5. I don't think there's enough of a difference to warrant getting a PS5 for it. Maybe Spider-Man PS5 when that one comes out, 100%. But like this one, I think it's definitely a nice game to play on the PS4 still, because it's still so like beautiful and the story's so impactful. It's like it's fucking and the do you want to talk about culture? That one is. The culture is so charming in it. It mixes the Mexican community or the Latin community, and it mixes the black community. It's so good, and like I love it. Awesome. I can't praise that game enough, and I would love to see that in the MCU. Like I 100%. But man, I don't know if they do it yet. I think Tom Holland's too hot. Like not physically. I mean,
he's
like
too popular.
I mean, yeah. Like I mean, in the form of like. How he's received right now. He's too poppin' to start Miles there right now. You know what I mean? I feel like if they're gonna start Miles, Feige's gonna save him. Feige's gonna save him for when Tom is like not too old, but like it's old enough where Tom could take a little bit of a backseat. Because I feel like if they do Miles, they're gonna want Miles to be their star, especially like. Because I think Sony knows too. I think Sony knows the gold they have with Miles, especially after the Into the Spider-Verse and the and all the Miles Morales game. So I that's why I kind of fear that Sony's gonna be like, no, we're gonna keep Miles. I do think it'd be really cool if Miles was the Sony character, if they did it right though. You know what I mean? Like because if they give it the same care that they gave Into the Spider-Verse. As they do to a live action Miles story, that'd be interesting. You know what I'm talking about? But if they play it safe on Sony, then that's what we don't want to see. And I think it'd be kind of interesting having like Miles being the Sony Spider-Man, because it really does lend to the part of like different Spider-Man universes. You know what I mean? Where there is another Spider-Man that could cross over, that can now lead into actual live action multiverse.
I would just hope that if they do that they do it in a way where they could cross him over too.
Yeah,
like a Tom Holland deal where they can still cross over technically.
Yeah, and I think that's what they would want to do 100%.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think it'd be kind of weird to have like a Sony verse Spider Miles Morales, and then like if Marvel wanted to do it, they have to cast someone else or whatever. Like it'd just be, I think, easier to have one consistent one.
That would be weird 100%. Like, but because we hear all these rumors that maybe there's gonna be a Spider-Man 4, like a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 now. And I just keep thinking a really cool story for a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4 is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. In his universe, he trains Miles Morales and dies in the universe, and then Miles Morales is the new Spider-Man of Tobey's universe. That's the story that I want. I want, if they are going to do it, bring back Spider-Man 4, but introduce Miles into the Sam Raimi universe as the main Spider-Man, and then Tobey sacrifices his life for the usual like mentor thing. Because there's rumors that there might be a dead Spidey coming up in Spider-Man 3. I think they're gonna kill Garfield, dude. If it's true, I think they're gonna fucking kill Garfield.
Damn.
I think they're gonna kill him. In Spider-Man No Way Home, I think they're gonna kill Andrew Garfield. Well, not actually the actor, but you know, they're gonna kill this Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
So here's the weird thing that so the leak that I heard doesn't mention Andrew Garfield whatsoever.
Like
It
in the story?
Yeah, it doesn't mention Garfield whatsoever in the story. It mentions Tobey Maguire and Tom Holland, but it never mentions Andrew Garfield. But all the leaks that would be more consistent that we've seen have all been about Andrew Garfield being on set and not Tobey Maguire. So I'm so confused as to like how backwards it seems.
Well, what if it's both? You know, what if Andrew is in it, but he's not too prominent in the plot because
he dies early?
I mean, maybe not early, but early enough to be impactful on Peter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe seeing a Spider-Man die is what Peter has to see.
I'm so curious how that ending scene, like if it's true, how it's gonna go. Like, obviously we have Alfred Molina for sure coming back as Sam Raimi's version, so that should automatically tell you that I think Tobey Maguire is definitely in it.
Coming back,
like there's no way he's not in it. Like, and we have Jamie Foxx's Electro, which would lead you to assume that Garfield is in it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, would Tom Holland, like, would they be facing off against their rival at the end of the movie, like based on who they've already fought? Because I would assume Toby would take on Doc Ock and Garfield would take on Electro.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see those like dynamics of like, you know, like I know Doc Ock and I know who Electro. I know they're fighting.
Aaron sent me this TikTok the other day of this guy who basically just like said the idea that, you know, we've been saying on Fandation the entire time, where Uncle, you know, and then, you know, he said it on TikTok, so everyone was like giving him credit, right? But he said the whole idea of Peter or Toby being Uncle Ben, right? And he was saying that like how it could happen was Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus is made it into the universe somehow, and he's like fucking up Toby, or not fucking up. He's fucking up Tom Holland, Spider-Man, and he's literally about to do like the final like stab to kill Tom Holland Spider-Man, and right before he does that, Toby Spider-Man comes in and just kicks his ass like easy, like kicks his ass easy. He's like, bro, don't worry, I fought this man before. We got this. I got this guy. Kicks his ass easy. And then during the fight, Doc Octopus rips off his mask, and then Toby finishes kicking his ass and swings away, and he goes, "Come on, kid, we have to go fight the other dudes. We need your help." And he starts swinging away, and he goes, "Yahoo!" like the iconic Toby Yahoo, and then it pans over to Tom, and he goes, "Uncle Ben."
Oh my god!
And it's like, man, I'm all for it, dude. I really hope, because like that's all it has to say, one line, and then he can only be he can come in at the end. He can just fuck shit up real quick. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to be in the whole movie. He just fucks him up.
If Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is in this movie, and Tobey Maguire doesn't call him Gobby, I don't want it.
Gobby?
You don't remember?
No.
Oh, I forget which fight, but he says like a quirk or whatever, like a little remark to he calls him, "You're the one that's out of line, Gobby," or whatever, something like that.
I need to rewatch these Spider-Man movies, dude. Oh my god. Gobby. Dude. Remember how Green Goblin's outfit in the original Sam Raimi, they're just like Nikes? Green Nikes?
They're like Jordans.
Green painted Jordans. Hey, bro, Green Goblin got that drip. He's fucking rocking it. Yeah, dude, that's exciting though. A lot of possibilities for Spider-Man 3. Dude, it's been a roller coaster for Spider-Man 3.
It really has.
Like,
Watch it still just be what I said initially. It's just gonna be Toby as a DoorDash guy, and
yeah. And then Andrew skateboarding by and they're gonna crash into each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm really. I think Alfred Molina basically just confirmed it.
Yeah.
And then
Kevin Feige must be
remember too
pissed.
that Charlie Cox is returning as not Daredevil, but Matt Murdock, and he will apparently represent Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Lawyer. I mean that one makes sense though. Like I feel like we've been hearing this one for like we've been hearing that one specifically for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like that he was gonna be potentially the lawyer. I would love if he's Daredevil, like for at least a second, like a fraction of a second. Like put on the suit, or like, dude, imagine like the final act of like the movie, shit's popping off, right? Multiverse shit. People are attacking. They're fighting at the they're fighting at the fucking Statue of Liberty, and yeah, it's like the same shit where like Tom is like getting destroyed, and then maybe like Goblin throws like one of his pumpkin bombs at him, and then you just see it like a fucking like beat stick just hit the crap out of it. Yeah, knock it out from the side, and it just the camera pans, and it's Daredevil, and then he leaves. He's only there for like a second. He just saves him for like a boom, and then just like he runs into the shadows.
Oh my god, it'd be funny because like he's gonna like do some like weird shit where he's gonna like wink at the camera or something, you know?
Yeah, well, he's blind, but
yeah. But he's gonna do something to acknowledge that, like.
Yeah. Or oh god,
Cox.
if it's a stupid ass line where he's like, "I can turn myself a Daredevil myself."
Yeah. What if there's actually just like as a meme, it's just him like walking like the street, and like he hears the commotion. He's like, "Should I get the suit on?" And like his buddy's like, "I think this one's out of your league, buddy." Just like walk away.
He's on the rooftop, and then he just hears Dr. Octopus's like metal claws, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Like, I'm good.
That's too much.
It's out of my league, man." It's like, oh, that'd be so cool though. Speaking of like Falcon and Winter Soldier, I saw this like, obviously it's like something we haven't like learned yet is who the power broker is. And that's probably gonna be episode 6, realistically, right? Next week's episode. But I saw this whole like really cool like theory that it's Kingpin. And I was like, dude, if they brought back Kingpin from the Daredevil show and didn't tell anyone, that would be nuts. You know what I mean? Like, I love that actor who portrayed Kingpin in this like.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
So good. What, Vincent? What?
D'Onofrio, I think, is what his name is.
So good. He did such a great job, and I would love to see him. Kingpin is notoriously a Spider-Man villain as well. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see that version of Kingpin messing around with Tom Holland Spider-Man. Like, that'd be so cool. That'd be awesome. Vincent would kill it. And then the whole dynamic with Charlie Cox too. Like, all three of them in a room together would be awesome. Like, just acting their ass off, would be so good. Man. Let's since we're on the train of Marvel, I say let's just hop into Falcon and Winter Soldier, right? Episode 5. Okay.
Right.
So let's put up the spoiler tag and everything. We're gonna hop into Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 5, because I mean it was yesterday, right? Like, usually we hop on like the day after, so like the day of. So we've given you guys time to check it out and really get your opinion. And now we're gonna talk about it. Hopping into spoilers. What did you think, Gabe? Like right off the bat, what did you think? Be honest.
I will say it was not my favorite episode.
Okay.
I'm more upset, and this is coming from someone who didn't theorize much of anything going forward.
Yes. I
was disappointed from the way the showrunners were hyping this episode up, and like there's a rich tearjerker, this and that, and I was just like, I watched and I was like, all right, I don't know what to expect in the last episode, but I'm not as interested as I was with WandaVision.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I did very much enjoy the episode as well. There was a lot of moments where I was like, oh shit, We'll specifically into the moments, as we go on. But like, yeah, I think there was the huge problem I'm having with the show is like, are they scared of, like, there's a lot of character development, and like I'm all for it, but it's like you'll have 6 episodes, like if this was like a 10 episode show, yeah, load it up with the character development as long as you evenly balance it with the amount of action. I was expecting this episode to pop off on the action, and realistically, it was
Just the beginning.
The beginning, yeah, like the 5 to 2 minute segment. It was a good scene. It was really dope and impactful, but it seems very like they seem very like they're not going all out. And then we hear all the like ever since WandaVision, we've been hearing that COVID has definitely impacted the shows.
It's showing.
It's showing. But here's the thing. Disney needs to be transparent with us. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they gotta just tell us, like, hey, look, listen, the shows have been impacted, like, heavily. But we still wanted to get you out something. And we intend to paying off everything eventually if you just deal with us because of the current times. I feel like people would be like okay. People would be like, that's fair.
Yeah.
But we have Disney out here marketing like hype and rumors and leaks, and then we have like actors hyping shit up, and I think Spellman, a lot of what Spellman said himself was taken out of context. I think a lot of people were saying that episode 5, everyone took what Spellman said and took it to heart. Spellman was like, people were saying, oh, Spellman said episode 5 is a tearjerker with the cameo, and the cameo is like really big. It's the episode 5 cameo, and it's like everything's like the cameo will make you cry and everything. A lot of people like combined all of what Spellman, all together, and like kind of came up with their own conclusion. But in reality, Spellman didn't really hype up the event. I think the reason why it was just so impactful for him is I think when he was talking about the tearjerker, I think he was talking about the Isaiah Bradley thing, right?
Yeah. Conversation.
Yeah, which honestly was very impactful. It was really definitely really impactful. I was like, oh shit, this is a crazy story. But I didn't I wasn't like I wasn't like crying. I definitely felt more emotional in other parts of the show. You know what I mean? Then
right.
Like
I think I like the scene because it's a good comparison of like not forgiving.
Well, yeah, dude. Like, well, think about it. Yeah. That scene, that story that Isaiah was talking about, how his soldiers were trapped and he went and saved them, and when he came back, he was tortured and imprisoned and like became a science experiment. That's a mirror to the first Captain America. Remember?
Yeah.
Captain America had his friends all there, and he went in and saved everyone, and he was praised. I mean, that's the whole idea, and like it was like. It's really cool. We'll get more into Isaiah Bradley as we get into it. Or actually, let's just fuck it. We'll just go into it right now. Isaiah Bradley. I loved the scene. I wanted to see the flashback.
Yeah.
In his monologue, dude. In his monologue, the entire time, I was like, flashback. Because I was like excited. I was hearing the story. I was like, this is a dope story. It's emotional. It's impactful. I wanted to see it. Like, I really wanted to see a young Isaiah Bradley, like, doing a covert op mission at night, and then like a really small scene with him getting tortured. Like nothing too crazy. I don't, but like a quick little edited shot of him, like, just to really seal it in, like how he was treated, and really hammer in like why he had the feeling that if a real black person can't, because that's like the logic he's trying to like spit at Sam. He was like a real black person wouldn't want to be Captain America because all of the negative things like the idea of Captain America has done to the African American community as well. And it's like, it's definitely like interesting. It's such a strong message, and it's real. Like, it's really real. Like later in the episode when Bucky straight up just like was like, hey, listen, when like I didn't think a black Captain America was a good idea either. I was like, wait, whoa. I was like, what the hell was that? I was like, that came out of left field. like that dead ass like shocked me. I was like, Bucky. And then I thought about it. I was like, Bucky is from World War II era. Like, he's probably met a couple racists in his time. Like, yeah. And he probably grew up around the time where racist people like. So yeah, Bucky is definitely like Bucky and Steve were both people that like were probably just like, oh, Black Captain America, like that's kind of a nuts idea. And it's like when hearing Bucky say it made it so much more real, you know? Like I was like, oh shit. I was like, I never even like thought about it how Bucky and Steve felt. I was like, oh, they're from World War II. Like every one of the races in World War II. Like it's
Right.
nuts. Um, so that definitely. Did I cry? No. Was it emotional? 100%. 100% it was emotional. God, I forgot the actor who plays Isaiah Bradley. But fucking phenomenal. You know, he did such a
Yeah.
good job at portraying pain and like and suffering and stuff like that, just with his voice. Like it's so good. Uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, I don't think it was like enough to make me cry, and I don't know if we should blame Spellman for that because I think this was a very personal thing for Spellman as well. You know what I mean? Maybe it was emotional for Spellman to think where he put his heart and soul in it, so like it's emotional for
Right.
him where he felt like he cried. Because a lot of the show, as he said, was personal for him, like from his own experiences. So it's like I could definitely see that. Um, but it kind of fed into the whole like slight disappointment. You know what I mean? Like, cause I think a lot of people were expecting a lot more, especially when it comes to this cameo. So, surprise, surprise, we found out the cameo was Julia Louis-Dreyfus, great actress. You know, Friends, SNL, VP, like the list
Yeah.
goes on. Great actress. Okay. Give me your opinion on this. Does that count as a cameo?
I guess because she's, I mean, her character is gonna become a, or she, I don't know if she already is, but she's Madame Hydra
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah, Madame Hydra.
So
Her
she's
Valentina Allegra Fontaine, Contessa Valentina Allegra Fontaine, correct?
right. So it seems to me that she's, so they're not gonna put John Walker Captain America into the Thunderbolts. It sounds like they're gonna make him the Hydra Cap.
Ye- oh, I didn't even
I don't think
think
they're doing
about.
Thunderbolts because that's another thing too.
But then
Like
again,
they just done away with Zemo, and I'm like,
Zemo ended up in the raft though. But Zemo ended up in the raft, and if you remember the raft, the
yeah,
raft is the prison overseen by Thunderbolt Ross.
I hope Thunderbolt Ross like
Okay.
does something with him, but
So look, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that they're gonna, because she was like, pick up the call when I call you, right? Like that's gonna be the best thing you do. I think what they're gonna, I think next episode she's gonna call him and be all like, hey, they're fighting right now in the GRC. If you go out there as Captain America and try to save them, the people might, think you better, right? And that's how he's gonna go. That's where he's gonna go, and he's gonna show up. I think he's gonna get arrested by the government, like for breaking the law. Because remember, that's the thing he was saying. You're no longer Captain America. Return the shield as fast as possible. I think he's gonna get arrested. The government's gonna take John Walker's shield, thinking that it's the original one. He's gonna get arrested, and he's gonna end up at the raft. So they're gonna have Zemo and John Walker chilling at the raft now, and then that's where Thunderbolt's gonna come in and then be like, trying to make a squad, some sort of Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. Yeah, I I was kind of disappointed when he actually got turned into the Wakandans. I'm like, oh come on.
Yeah, that was really quick. I was
I
expecting
was
something
like,
else, man. Like,
I don't
okay,
know. We
that
saw him in the
scene,
mask for like a hot minute.
that scene is important because like what that scene's saying is he broke in his programming officially. I think Zemo had full intention to die right there. You know what I'm talking about? Zemo, I think Zemo had the idea that he did what he could with the super soldier serum. What he was gonna do now is try to do a final manipulation on, like Bucky, just to try to convince him to kill Carly. But I think he was comfortable with dying there. Because if you remember, Zemo was trying to kill himself in Civil War.
Yeah.
So I think he was like he accepted his death, and he was right in front of the memorial where his family, represents his family. But then it was like the whole thing with the bullets dropped, and it's like representing that Bucky is no longer the Winter Soldier, or like the evil Winter Soldier that is programmed. So it's like that scene definitely is important because it's supposed to shy on the transformation of Bucky. But it's like, man, I want to see more of Zemo, like especially
I think it was the best part of the show.
Yeah, 100%, and like, I wanted to see his ties with the Power Broker. We haven't met the Power Broker yet. That's for sure going to be next episode. People are even saying that Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character is the Power Broker, and it's like, I don't think so. And it's like, yeah, I don't think so either. Like,
I think if anything, it's Sharon.
I don't think it's Sharon. I think they're really trying to make you think it's Sharon. I think they're really trying to make you think it's Sharon.
It's just going to be weird them introducing a brand new character out of nowhere.
Unless it's bigger down the line. You know what I mean?
Unless they don't reveal it at all.
Oh, I don't know if they do that. Because we did learn that Sharon was talking to Batroc. If you turn on the subtitles and to see who she was talking to.
She basically hired Batroc to go kill Falcon.
Yeah. So it's like... But then it makes no sense, Doc. Like, why would she lead Zemo and Falcon and Bucky to her supplier for the Super Soldier Serum? Why would she lead them to Nagel? Like, that makes no sense. Why lead someone to your supply?
She's up to some shady shit, though. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I don't know what she's doing.
Well, the actress
itself, like, only in her self-interest.
So the actress who played Sharon Carter did say in an interview that that all Sharon wants right now is to get her pardon. And she's willing to do anything she can right now to get her pardon. And that's what her...
But then she hired a guy to go kill the guy that's going to get her the pardon. I don't understand.
I'm trying to think of what did she say on the phone with him? Like, what actually did she say?
I don't remember the exact words, but when Batroc goes to Carly, he basically confirms that he was hired and told that his payment would be the ability to go kill Falcon. So she basically gave him the green light to go do it. She's like, yeah, I just need to do this for Carly.
No, I mean, unless she's playing like the ultimate 3D chess, where she's like, okay, I know Sam's gonna kick this guy's ass, so that's why I'm sending him, right?
Maybe, but
like, what if it's the ultimate 3D chess, dog? Like, I could see that maybe, because we've already seen Falcon, because the first time that he was hired was episode 1. The events of episode 1, that was the first hiring that he was referencing. But it seemed like with that, she didn't know the Falcon. Like, I think neither of them knew that the Falcon was going to get involved, right? Like, I think it just happened. And I think it's Batroc that specifically wants to kill the Falcon. And that's the payment that he requested for Sharon, right? He was like, listen, I'll do your job, but I just want the chance to kill the Falcon. And then she's probably like, okay, that might be a little hard for me, but I think he's going to kick her ass anyways, or whatever. Like, I could see that. Because I don't think Sharon... I think she's just like... I think she's just really smart. You know what I mean? She's what, Agent 13 or 14?
But she's living fairly comfy in... What's it called? She's living really a comfortable lifestyle over in...
Madripoor, yeah.
Madripoor. So, like... She seems to have a pretty high up status within the Madripoor community.
So she's probably did some shady shit.
That's why I'm like, I don't. That's why I'm like, I feel like there's a chance at least that she's the power broker.
Yeah, it would make no sense to me, dude. If she was actually the power broker, like, it would just make no sense. Like, because I would just be like, bro, why lead him to your own supply? Because she beat up the power broker's men that were going to Nagel's. Like, if she was the power broker, wouldn't they be like, hey, wait, boss, what are you doing? And then, like, like,
But if Sharon, if the power, if the flag smashers were to succeed and like the GRC and all that stuff goes away, wouldn't that make it easier for her to go back to her family, since there would be like no like overreaching government to like, you know, pardon
I
her
don't
or
think.
like arrest her or
I
whatever?
mean, I don't know how much the GRC has jurisdiction over her pardon of the government. You know, I think it's more of just like government thing. Because I think she's more in trouble for stealing the shield and the
Mhm.
wings, and like that had nothing to do with the GRC and the Global Resource Committee or whatever.
But then it would allow the open borders. There would be no borders.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
So for me, this is where the issue lies, though. Like, I think the show's been wildly inconsistent when it comes to like Bucky and Falcon's power level and John Walker's power level.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they were fighting each other, they all seemed really strong and really good. But then when Carly's around, they look like amateurs. They don't know what they're doing, and she's an amateur. Like,
Yeah. Okay. And
and
then
that's what's been frustrating me.
Yeah.
I think a little bit. I'm just like, she's not a compelling villain at all.
I was about to say the Flag Smashers suck.
They really suck. They're not a good villain.
really suck, and like that's what's getting me like nervous, because it seems like this final episode it's all about them. Like it's all about.
I don't care about them
Yeah.
whatsoever.
I don't think anyone cares about them. Like genuinely, like why would we care about them? Like, okay, this is something that Josh from the Den of Nerds brought up the other day, and like he was like, I was like, yeah, that's actually true. Why is Carly in charge?
Right? Why is this little girl in charge?
Why was she like? Why did the guy in the last episode was like, you know, you're kind of like Captain America in my eyes? Why?
Yeah, what has she done?
Yeah, what has she done?
She killed people.
All she's been doing is glacking people for like what message? It's like the Flag Smashers really suck. And they haven't smashed anything. What have they smashed?
No. And they blew up that GRC building and killed GRC workers. But like, stop Ryan Johnson.
Yeah, did Ryan Johnson write this episode?
I honestly don't know. Like, this is what scared. I'm not that hyped for the last episode because I just
and then it seems
there's no compelling villain.
And that's the thing. It seems like everyone hyped up episode 5. You know,
Right.
so like is episode 6.
So like, I'm just led to assume that episode 6 just kind of is whatever.
Yeah, like is it just supposed to wrap up loose ends? You know, like is episode 6?
At the end of episode 5 too, I was just like, well, all the hype for that, and I don't know, man, not that great.
Yeah, I know. After watching it, I was like, it was good, but there was a lot of hype for this episode 5, like a lot of hype, and I don't consider Julia Louis-Dreyfus as a cameo.
Really,
I
no.
genuinely don't. I just think I just think it's a cast. Like it was just a cast thing. You know what I mean?
Cameo is supposed to be like someone that is more relevant to the universe already. I feel.
Yeah.
You know?
Or like a cameo is like if Julia Louis-Dreyfus like played a superhero like in another thing, and then she came out and she came in this one and was like, oh hey yeah, like let's say for example, Gal Gadot, right, Wonder Woman, and she comes out in the MCU, and then in there she's like a character that is like a Wonder Woman fan or something. That's a cameo, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but Julia Louis-Dreyfus is just playing a character that is not well known. That's just a casting. It's kind of like it's kind of like the whole Agatha thing, you know? Like,
right?
Is Agatha a cameo? Like, because it's a cool actress that played a character that's not well known.
Like technically, you could say Evan Peters was a cameo.
Evan Peters was a cameo because he was playing a joke on a reference of one of his other characters.
But even then, it's like he was kind of more of just like a part of the cast because he was in it longer.
Yeah,
like he wasn't just a quick scene or anything. He was there.
And then the way they're setting up Julia Louis-Dreyfus as a character, I don't think it's she's coming back. Like it's not just like a
right.
It's not just like a one and done. And then there's also rumors that she actually was supposed to debut in Black Widow.
Right. So I think she will show up in Black Widow.
Yeah.
But again, there's they were saying that the cameo is like her role basically is not slated to appear in much anything else moving forward. I guess maybe in Black Widow because that was supposed to come out first, but she's not going to appear in anything anytime soon, from what I've heard.
Yeah, that is true. I did also hear about that. I'm curious how that's going to work. Like is that just like planting the seed of Hydra like coming back into the limelight? You know what I mean?
Like they're not dead still. Like
yeah, because we saw in Ant-Man 1 that there was a representative of Hydra. You know what I mean? And in Ant-Man 1, in the scene where they were trying to buy like Homeboy's like tech, there was a representative of the Ten Rings and a representative of Hydra, both in those meetings. So it's like that kind of like was setting the seeds that like Hydra is still kind of alive in the modern day. And then, Civil War, like Hail Hydra type of shit. S.H.I.E.L.D. was kind of overwhelmed by Hydra. So, is this planting the seeds of a bigger Hydra arc? Sure. But when are they going to pay it off? Right. So it's like, look, I really would have I think this show would have smacked with 8 to 10 episodes.
There's not enough episodes.
There's not enough.
I did hear like some people kind of like excusing this as like, oh, expect some growing pains. I'm like, I don't want to excuse it. I don't want to excuse it, really. I don't think it's fair.
And then you hear all of the rumored subplot, like, or the side plots that were cut. Did you hear about that? Like there's the rumored side plot that the GRC was actually behind, like, the reason why it's a bigger deal, why Carly doesn't like the GRC, is because after people got blipped back, apparently the GRC was supposed to release a virus to try to control people after the blip, and then they were also going to manufacture their own vaccine. And the thing that was supposed to happen was that the GRC was supposed to be making the virus out of Terrigen mist, and it goes out of hand, causing the Inhumans. Apparently that was obviously all rumors and speculations, no confirmed. We're in a basement right now and we have no sources. Like they were saying that all that was cut because it was a little too close to home with some of the conspiracy theories about COVID. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So it's like, I get it. I understand how that could be gotta get a little close to home, especially right now. But man, it definitely could tell it was hit.
They could have wrote around it better.
Yeah, like because
and just cutting it out, like I don't know.
Like it's interesting because we saw the like think about it. Like every time I think about it. Now, it just makes more or less sense. What's the point of them in that semi truck scene with the vaccines? That scene realistically has no point.
It has no bearing. Now it has no bearing moving forward.
Yeah,
because they don't ever reference that stuff that they had in those trucks ever again.
It's like, man, so Cold Cuts is out here. I think it would have been. Fine. Who cares about the conspiracy theory people? Yeah,
I agree. You gotta just do stuff. You can't try to walk on eggshells because people are gonna get offended no matter what. People are already offended because you mentioned race as a sub theme in an episode, and they're like, "Already go broke." So it's like it doesn't matter. Like people are gonna be offended regardless.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, dude. Like that makes me think about the whole like Disney look thing that just happened at work. Like for those of you that don't know, Disneyland has changed their Disney look, which means that cast members can now like paint their nails, wear tattoos, get earrings, have more gender inclusive haircuts and hairstyles and stuff based off religion. And conservatives have been pissed, bro. Like real pissed. And it's like, dog, why is it a big deal? Like just
body.
Yeah, it's like it's not your body. It's like why is it such a big deal? And it's like everyone gets offended. Like people are offended just because people want to look like themselves. It's like So Disney has just got to like sometimes just roll with the punches because I know they're trying to satisfy everyone, but someone in my family was like supporting the whole like conservative views on like the Disney look thing, and then I was like I was like why can't you like see that they're just trying to be inclusive, right? And she was like, well, Walt Disney was a racist. I was like, so you want us to continue to be like a racist Walt Disney, like it's like, what does that mean? Like allow change. They literally fired Gina Carano for politics, but they won't run the vaccine plot. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean, to be fair, that there's a lot of this film subdivision of not really. It's hard because Marvel seems to do a better job of avoiding those kinds of conflicts
yeah,
or confrontations. And Lucasfilm, I didn't know, but apparently Lucasfilm has been quiet for like they were like dead silent on social media for like a week and a half apparently. So I don't know what's going on, but
yikes! Just some shuffling and reworks going on at Lucasfilms.
maybe I don't know.
Whoo!
It's hard though with Disney. There's a lot of different branches and divisions that I think kind of take care of themselves.
Yeah.
And Disney just kind of goes, all right, cool, you guys are doing good. Sounds good.
All right, cool. Wait, we just got all our money. So we don't care what you do. Man, yeah, interesting. Okay, so what else? Let's run down the episode. We talked about the cameo. We talked about the whole Isaiah Bradley thing. Okay, so we have the court scene with John Walker, where the government are kind of just saying, "Hey, bro, fuck you. The only reason why we're not arresting you is because you've basically killed a bunch of people for us, and we respect that." Which leads to the after credit scene, which shows John Walker making his own Captain America shield. Now, do we feel that's lining up more with U.S. Agent, or do we feel like that's lining in more with just him going fucking crazy?
I think it's just him trying to prove that he's still worthy of being Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's leading more to the U.S. agent because, like, they want people to think that he's a psychopath, but like, I don't really buy that he is. Like,
I don't think so either.
He's just been a guy that's been around, and it's like, even with like Falcon and Bucky at the beginning of the episode, it's like he just lost his best friend and he did something out of anger that he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But they go, the first thing they do is like, yeah, we're going to take that shield. It's like, how about you just take this guy in, like,
yeah. How about
him into,
take that some therapy
have the shield from him.
like, Falcon's a grief counselor, like, why wouldn't Falcon like,
should do better.
Yeah, why wasn't Falcon like, hey, dog, let's just chill? Like, he did help a little bit, He was like, listen, we don't want to hurt anyone. We just want to talk. We just want to bring it in. And then it got a little more hectic with like, oh, okay, you don't want to do this type of shit. Because we did get a little more of the Sam grief counselor type thing when he had that conversation with Bucky. Which is kind of gonna lead into like next episode, which I think we're finally gonna get that moment where he confesses to the old man about his son, which that's gonna be emotional. I think I'm gonna cry on that, to be honest. I think that has more of a chance to make me cry than episode 5.
Yeah, they may not even pay that off.
Oh no, dude! The way they said it with that, no man, with the way they said it in episode 5, there's no way.
What if, like, I'm just worried, like, the episode's gonna come and go, and like they'll never revisit the old man again.
I would come on a Fandation literally the next day. I'd come on a Fandation. I'd rage. I would rage, dog.
I would rage too, because like that old man deserves his closure.
He deserves his closure, and then Bucky deserves more closure, and then Zemo kind of teased that where Zemo was like, I already scratched my name off your list. He was like, I want you to know where it lies. I know that there's no ill intent. It's like, damn, Zemo is just out here spitting facts and truth bombs, and he's genuinely being the only one respectful to Sam out here or to Bucky out here. Like
I
Zemo's an asshole, but he's like, hey, look, I'm an asshole, but I'm telling it to you straight, out of respect.
I I love Zemo in Civil War, and this is only reaffirmed what
He was
only
the best
little
character.
there was of him, and he's definitely. I think you can definitely say he's one of the best Marvel villains, and he's had not that much screen time if you think about it.
Yeah, he's had like what 5? He had like 10 minutes in Civil War, and then
Yeah,
maybe 15 minutes in this show. And then, dude, like the whole Turkish delight monologue, like everything, dude. God, I always think of the scene where he's just like, where he's talking about music, and Sam is like, hey, he's out of line, but he's right.
he's like it encapsulates the African American experience. And he's like Marvin Gaye's a classic. He's out of line, but he's right.
Or like when Sam was like, "Hey, why am I dressed like a pimp?" And then he goes, "Only an American would think a fashion forward a black man is a pimp." And it's like, bro, he's out of line, but he's right. Oh man, I would call him kind of like an anti-hero in this show. Yeah, 100%.
He definitely is an anti-hero on this
100%.
show.
Because you could definitely see he's going for his own morals. He stick to his morals. He definitely had the opportunity to take super soldier serum if he wanted to, you know, but he was like, fuck that, squish, 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 squish. And then he was like, he saw Carly, he's like, fuck that bitch, pow, pow, pow. Like, you know, like he's consistent. He killed Neagle. Like he's technically all of this. He's technically doing for the greater good of the world because he knows the world shouldn't have super soldiers. Because he knows super soldiers just make the world go crazy. He's badass, dog. I've
been cheering him on this whole time.
like at this point, if I know like you're a little worried that they're probably not going to do Thunderbolts because of how the show's been going, but if they don't do a Thunderbolts starring Zemo, they fucked up.
Well, they gotta do Thunderbolt. They gotta do something with Zemo because
100%.
One episode in, released the Zemo cut, and they did it.
They
so
did it.
I mean,
dude, how about it took DC fans movements for Warner Brothers and DC to acknowledge stuff. It took 5 minutes for Marvel on the Zemo cut. 5 minutes. They're all like, all right, you want it? There you go. Boom.
There you go. Here's the extended scene.
There you go. Boom.
And you know what? I'm kind of upset that they just didn't put it in.
Yeah, it's like it was only like 10 seconds.
It's not that much long. It's only a couple seconds more.
Yeah. I mean,
you get bro. He even does the mosh pit like the.
or he was like, have you played GTA 5 recently at all?
No, not
oh
recent.
Man, GTA 5 a couple years, like maybe like a year ago, they added nightclubs right to the game, and your character could own a nightclub, and then your character could walk into the nightclub like while it's in operation and just start dancing. It's literally like Zemo dancing. It's just like passive little like.
Oh
like,
my god!
Literally, the whole Zemo dancing scene reminded me of a GTA 5 nightclub. Like it's fucking hilarious. Okay, so a side note. Speaking of Zemo, he got turned into the Wakandans, and the Wakandans were all like, "Hey, by the way, maybe make yourself scarce of Wakanda for the time being." So
that's another thing. I don't know, man. Like the Wakandans. I don't like the way they were presented in the show at all.
Really?
Very vengeful, very like they kind of ruined a lot of things in my opinion.
Well, I think it's just the idea that they were just really pissed because, you know, the person that killed their king escaped prison. And then not only
they
that,
definitely weren't there under the orders of T'Challa though, because T'Challa probably would have been more trustful of Bucky of what he was doing.
I think well obviously due to the past events, it'd be harder. But I personally think T'Challa as a character would have came himself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, and obviously that couldn't happen because of Chadwick is passing. Unfortunate, like very unfortunate. But like, I think Black Panther, the character, he would come himself to confront Bucky about this and to stop Zemo. And not, I don't think he'd send the Dora Milaje. So, like, is the Dora Milaje under the guidance of just Io herself, or did Shuri send them, or like, you
Yeah,
know?
they don't make that clear. They just
But then
kind of just
again,
seem like Io has like a personal vendetta.
then again, we also have no idea what happened with the power vacuum after the blip in Wakanda, because from what we know, what we know, Black Panther got blipped. I think Shuri got blipped as well. So a lot of the power dynamic in Wakanda, who knows what happened over the 5 years, right? So is like T'Challa even still king, right? Like, was there a new king within the 5 years? Like, is there this whole thing happening? Yeah, that's interesting. With, I don't know about Baku, because he came out at the in the Endgame fight scene. Remember?
Yeah, I don't know if he was blipped though or not.
Yeah, so I don't know that either. So it's like, what happened with Wakanda in the 5 years? What was the power dynamic there? Other than, it's gonna be interesting seeing what they do with Wakanda and Black Panther 2, because
I do not envy those writers because I don't know what they're gonna do.
that gives me like stress just thinking of Black Panther 2. I get sad every time I think about it.
Yeah,
Like, it makes me so sad. Like, I don't know. I genuinely have no idea what they're gonna do for that story. Like, I feel so bad for Ryan Coogler, like, that he's in this position, that he, and then especially with how much you hear about Black Panther 2.
and how do you write around it respectfully, and like how do you? I just don't know how they're gonna move forward, like in a respectful manner that still honors Chadwick, but because they have to move forward.
Yeah, do we know when it's slated for?
2022, I think.
Oh man, how are they gonna do that, dude?
Or maybe it's 2023. It's the same year, I think. Oh no, it's 2022.
2022, yeah.
Next year. I don't know what they're gonna do.
They're gonna kill. I mean, they have to, right? They have to just kill T'Challa.
There's no way they can bring him back.
There's no way. I mean, okay, would it be tasteless to CGI and kill him in CGI character? Like, what if he dies with like the full suit on, Like, what if we see this CGI sequence where it's T'Challa in the full suit going to fight someone and he dies? And then, the movie starts off there. Like, the opening sequence is T'Challa fighting someone and dying and continuing to the funeral and the after implications of Wakanda. And maybe the power vacuum that's happening in Wakanda after the death of the other king,
Mm-hmm.
And then it might even turn into this whole like semi-political thing as well, but because maybe people won't want to have Shuri as queen. You know what I mean? Maybe some people are gonna see it weird having a young woman as a queen, as the queen of Wakanda, instead of having like a man being the king of Wakanda, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Shuri probably wouldn't be
Because
the Black Panther yet.
Because Shuri has to. Every king or queen has to fight in that little trial, right?
Right.
Like, I don't think Shuri's got what realistically, I don't think Shuri's got what it takes right now. Because they're not gonna let Shuri use her tech, and that's like her big thing. She has tech.
Right.
So it's like
I feel like the next logical choice to uptake the Black Panther mantle would be M'Baku. He's the only one that seemed to be like right underneath T'Challa when it came.
What about
to
his friend?
The power. Which one?
The one that tames the rhinos.
Maybe, but he doesn't seem much of like a fighter.
I love that actor.
He uses the spears and stuff, but like
he's such a good actor. Like, that
I
actor's
don't
so
know.
good.
Baku's beefy though. Like
Baku is beefy.
Be a beefy Black Panther.
Bafa.
And like
Bafa!
the cane and he just had it sliding on the back or something. Ooh, that'd be pretty cool.
Man, yeah, I feel so bad for Ryan Coogler
Yeah,
having to write himself out of this
unfortunate circumstance.
But yeah, man. So, what's your final thought on episode 5 for Falcon and Soldier?
I think if I'm gonna give it a rating, it's gonna be a 6, just because the Isaiah Bradley stuff. I think is I like seeing the comparison and how Isaiah sees what he's been through, and how he doesn't want to forgive the United States. He doesn't want to forgive how the American society is, and I like how Falcon is the opposite, where it hurts him that things were like that.
Yeah, but he sees hope still.
He still sees hope, and that he's like, we have to move forward. We have to heal somehow.
Yeah,
we have to, figure this out. So like, I like that dynamic of like, he wants to maybe take up the mantle to prove people like Isaiah wrong, like
and then also be that beacon of hope for the future of like kids and like the future of America, because like it was definitely very impactful seeing that scene of like Sam's nephews like playing with the shield and and like idolizing it and stuff like that. Like it is really cool, like it is really cool. It's really like kind of like lighthearted and like it feels really nice seeing like other races like having like, imagine a Mexican being Captain America. That'd be nuts. Like, but I think like Mexicans are just as American as everyone else, right? So it's like it's crazy. Like it's possible. Like, so yeah, definitely. I'm on the same. I think I'm rating it at about a 6. It was definitely a meh episode, as Cold Cuts has said. That being said, though, I definitely did like a lot of things. Like the opening fight scene was nuts, very remnant of Civil War. The fight scene with Iron Man very
Captain
and Bucky. Yeah, it basically was like identical. And then I got Thanos vibes where they were trying to take off the shields from his hand. Like, yeah, dude, there was definitely really cool shit. The Isaiah scenes were so phenomenal. As I said, I would have loved to see a flashback. That's all that, like, the whole time I'm watching, I was like, come on, flashback. But they keep teasing my boy Elijah. They keep teasing him. He's there every little fucking tidbit. But it's like, man, just give it to me. Like, I want Patriot. Like, stop just like dangling. Like, I feel like that Geico commercial was like, oh, you almost got it. Like, yeah, like just give it to me, man. Like I know. Like, and then if they don't give us realistically, if they don't give us Patriot this season, it's not gonna make sense. They're not gonna bring back Isaiah, right? Like, I don't think they're gonna bring him back.
No.
And this is Isaiah, or his grandson getting it through a blood transfusion is like the only way that they could do it realistically. So it's like, if we don't see that, like in this episode 6, when are we gonna see it? Are we ever gonna see it? Because like, I want the Patriot, dude. Like that's what I've been saying it since the season started. That's what I've been wanting. And he's right there. Just give it to us, please. Because when will we get him?
We'll see.
It wouldn't make any sense. When else would they get him? Because like the actor who plays Isaiah is like 69 years old. Homie's pretty old. Like, he's not super old.
The only other show that I can see maybe but I don't think so. I mean, the Hawkeye show, where they could bring them back for both the Bradleys, but I think they just got to resolve that now and get it out of the way. Like,
yeah. I want a Patriot show, 100%. I want a Patriot show.
I think we're just gonna get a Young Avengers show. I don't think we'll get like a full. I don't think we'll get any of them.
Look, here's the thing. Patriot was one of the founding members of the Young Avengers, right? So what if they did a one season Patriot show that leads into the Young Avengers?
They could, but I feel like that's what Miss Marvel's gonna kind of be. I feel like Miss Marvel would be like the intro to Young Avengers.
Dude, man, I feel like a flashback to weeks ago where it was me and I was like, man, I got a feeling they're gonna do Inhumans. They're gonna do Inhumans and Falcon. Now I feel like an idiot. It's because like it's like, man, because I still think about it, like, when are they gonna introduce Kamala Khan? When are they gonna introduce the Inhumans? Like, she's coming up. She's coming up, dude. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, are they just gonna introduce it in her show?
I think she's just gonna
origin story in her show.
I think she's gonna do an origin story. Yeah,
man.
That's gonna be.
It's a lot.
Rough.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Are you gonna? But I feel like they're gonna have to do an origin story for Moon Knight as well, because I don't see where they're gonna introduce him before.
Yeah. You don't think Eternals? Maybe like tease Eternals.
I can see maybe like a slight tease of like the Moon God Khonshu, but I don't think they'll do like, you know. There's no real way to introduce them.
Yeah, I guess it just could be like soft origin stories, man. Because like the idea of the Inhumans and the Terrigen Mist is a big thing. Like, and that's something you can't just do in the beginning of a show. You know what I mean? Like, because that, especially for the MCU, that has huge implications, like ginormous implications. That impacts.
What the big implications are when it comes to Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Madame Hydra. That's their big implication. That's what they think is.
Yeah, that's the big
huge cameo.
Big episode 5 cameo.
Yeah, I'm sure it's gonna be cool, like what they do with it eventually, but that's not. Again, it bothers me that they're like, I would like to see this grounded character interact with the likes of Thor. I'm like,
wow, what was that?
I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I don't see her hanging out with Thor. I mean, maybe just like the attitude, you know, like her attitude.
Thor.
I guess he just grabbed the name. He was like, you know what?
Super powered heroes or something. I'm so confused as
Disney.
Like, it sounds to me like they do want the theories. Like they try
100%.
They throw a little bit out there to try to get the theories, and like I think people did a good job of not feeding into it this season. This show. And I still think it's still hurting the show because it's obvious they're fishing for it.
I mean, obviously Julia Louis-Dreyfus is Mephisto. I think you're right. Obviously, she is Mephisto. That's why she came in. That's why her card was empty, because you know she's Mephisto. I want to see her and Thanos interact. Dude, Thanos would kill this chick, dog. Straight up.
He'd just like slap her and her spine would snap in half.
It would be like that scene from Invincible. At the end of,
yeah, really.
So yeah, it's interesting to see where episode 6 will go, right? We're gonna find out next week. And then after Loki, it's gets me worried for Loki a little bit. Are you low-key worried for Loki? I'm a little worried for Loki now.
I'm concerned that Loki's gonna have no bearing on the future of Marvel.
But look.
It's like another. Here's a little Loki thing for you Loki stans, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, that's probably why Loki can get a little crazy of the show, because it has no implications on the future of the 616 timeline. It's like this is all in different timelines and different things. Like, I think the only implication of what Loki is gonna be for is that maybe this is just gonna explain how this version of Loki is gonna show up in the next Thor movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not excited for any of the Marvel shows moving forward. I mean, I'm still kind of excited for like Secret Invasion. That's gonna be interesting because that's just a big fucking arc. You know, Armor Wars sounds cool, but that kind of just sounds like the plot of Iron Man 2, if I'm being honest.
The only one I'm excited for is Moon Knight, just because that's my homeboy. That's my favorite Marvel character of all time. But it does concern me that, like, well, if this is the quality we're getting, and I'm not saying it's the production quality is bad, but the story and narrative quality is rough.
Oh.
They don't know how to fit Marvel into a show yet. Clearly,
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I forgot. She-Hulk and what's the
Miss
other one?
Marvel,
Miss Marvel is one more. There's one more.
Hawkeye is another one that's coming out.
Ironheart. Ironheart. I'm excited
Ironheart.
for Ironheart. Yeah, I'm excited for Ironheart and She-Hulk. Those are the ones I'm not just quality, depth is lacking. Yeah,
It's my main concern.
like I think they're going really hard with the character development. Like really hard. Like that boat scene, as cool as it was really long. Really long. Um, the training scene was really cool. I did like seeing Falcon training with a shield. Some of the emotional stuff between Bucky and Sam are cool, but maybe just tighten up a little bit. But yeah, 100%. It seemed very. I wanted to see more action.
I will say, Falcon and Winter Soldier hasn't been as exciting to watch as
WandaVision.
I think it had a solid start, but I don't know, man. I'm just not as invested as I was with WandaVision.
Yeah,
And that's even crazy because I was more invested with WandaVision with the possibilities, and then the ending just totally blew it. Like I don't know. I'm more excited for Spider-Man No Way Home than I am for the season finale of Falcon and
Winter Soldier. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I feel like these shows are just reminding us how much we miss the Marvel movies, right? Because I think Marvel movies have just Marvel movies have their formula, but it's like they've always kind of been satisfying to like a point where these shows, I think they're trying to hit the Marvel formula, but they're not, as you said, ready for the TV show format. So it's kind of like really hitting them hard. Like if you think about it realistically, this is a medium where they can explain more. You know, like they could put it's like combining two movies into one. So it's like I think they're just going really hard with the character development. Cause like I was thinking about Civil War, like Captain America: Civil War, dude. The amount of fighting and action in that movie alone is nuts. Like the airport scene, the fighting scene with Bucky, Captain America, and and Iron Man, like nuts, like long fight scenes, crazy stuff, and it's like we're getting maybe 1 5-minute fucking action segment, an episode, and then half the time it's not even the main villain, the Flag Smashers. They've smashed nothing. The Flag Smashers. It's like it's interesting. It's interesting to see for sure.
All we've gotten is sympathize with them, and I was like, I don't.
Yeah, I don't sympathize with them either.
Want to sympathize with them.
Like,
I don't.
I just feel like the whole thing with the GRC is not explained well. Like I don't understand why Carly is like the leader. I don't understand why she's viewed as the like, oh well, you know, you're kind of like the next Captain America. It's like, I don't get it. She's not compelling it for me at all.
Yeah, the one thing that definitely bothered me was how it seems like the fight between Falcon, Bucky, and John Walker, they were all of a sudden out of nowhere from thin air. They were all at their peak, performing as if they would be against some crazy level threat. Yeah. But every time they go up against Carly, it's like they look like amateur. Like they look like they don't know what they're doing. And I'm like, how can the show be more consistent with where they're at power level wise?
Yeah, dude. Like you know, you see scenes where like
Falcon and Bucky should not have had trouble with Carly whatsoever.
Yeah, you see scenes where like Bucky is running. It's like, what's going on? The inconsistencies are crazy, and it's like, you know, Cold Cuts is out here saying, I feel like they sat down and said we need 6 weeks of content instead of thinking of how long it should take to tell the story. I disagree. I think they said, all right, we have 10 episodes of content, but 4 of them are about the GRC vaccine storyline. So we got to cut all of that out, and we just got to glue together enough for 6 episodes. That's what I think happened. I think they just gutted as much as they could about that storyline, and then they just glued in the rest.
So the funny thing with WandaVision, there was more episodes, but the runtime of those episodes was an issue.
Yeah. And
I think with this show, the runtime's not an issue.
It's the episodes.
But the amount of episodes is an issue. It's not enough episodes to get enough done.
Yeah.
Even with the extended runtime, because you know they're gonna just throw in like filler scenes.
Marvel's got to find that magic balance of episode and length. They literally line up their show releases so that there's new content each week. Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's just so to keep people subscribed to Disney Plus, right? Like, it's to keep people coming back. I mean, hey, let's just. I think we're good talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, Disney Plus is right now some of the shows have not been solid. Hey, next week, Gabe, we should start reviewing the Mighty Ducks show. What do you think about that?
Might as well.
But
what if we end up liking that more than fucking the Winter Soldier?
I would scream, genuinely scream.
I'd subscribe from Disney Plus and be like, hey, I'm out.
What was I gonna say? La 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 la. Brain fart. Let's see.
It's been a long week.
It's been a long week. It really has. A huge cameo next Mighty Ducks episode.
Yeah, why aren't the showrunners of the Mighty Ducks hyping up their show and being like, we got a crazy cameo coming up? Episode 5, tearjerker.
Episode 5 of Mighty Ducks. The funny thing is that, like, they could totally have cameos in the Mighty Ducks, like, because I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think some people from the original cast are making cameos in the show. So it's like, yeah, they probably do have, like. It's probably just not picking up any steam because, people out here like, yeah, what's the Luke Skywalker level cameo from Mighty Ducks?
That'd be crazy if they did have one. It's just Mark Hamill.
Right? Yeah, man, but definitely really interesting to see what's going on with Marvel. They've definitely been on this balance beam. But enough about Marvel. Let's move on a little bit and talk about Invincible. Last topic of the day. We're gonna just talk about it real quick. Get our thoughts on the initial episode because this episode was, in my opinion, this episode kind of was like a little bit of a filler. You know what I mean? Like I feel like this episode, it definitely was like it had a lot of like cool undertones and stories. From what I heard, like from videos that I watched, people were saying that it definitely dilutes a lot of things from the comics, like. Bring stuff from the comics earlier than it was introduced, and like different storylines are kind of being tweaked a little bit. But I thought it was episode 6 wasn't bad. I thought it was pretty cool, pretty exciting. It was basically like picking up from last week after Battle. Was his name? Battle Tiger or Battle Star? Not Battle Star. Like that dude that fucked up the dudes. Like the. Guardians of the Globe, the new Guardians. So Black Samson's alive. I thought he got glacked, but
all of them are still alive.
Yeah, all of them are alive. I thought Black Samson got glacked, dude. I thought Monster Girl. They said she survived at the end of the episode of last week, but it's like I thought Samson got glacked.
I thought Samson was dead.
Like apparently not though. Apparently he's fine. It looks like it's teasing he's getting his powers back, which is kind of interesting. We're getting Mark, like a lot of Mark having issue with his girlfriend. I mean, dog, that's so tough. If you're a superhero, like, would you want to tell your significant other? You personally,
I feel like you have to,
right?
But like, yeah, because like even like the idea of. You can't let anyone know who you are because you gotta protect your identity and the ones you love. It's like, but they're gonna find that out anyway,
Yeah,
like
100%.
And like the only thing you're doing by not telling your significant other who you really are is just being a piece of shit. Because like they're just gonna assume you're being an asshole, just not showing up to things.
Yeah, but also it's like, what if Mark is like doesn't know how long they're gonna be together, right? And he's just like. He's like, well, if I can't tell you my secret identity, because what if we break up? Like, that's awkward. Like, now you know my identity.
Which, you should just go with the other chick.
Yeah,
she knows who he is.
I think
and they
they're
won't have an issue.
I think that's kind of what they're trying to tease a little bit, like that she like. But I think it's like that's like the thing where it's like it's two people that are perfect each other, but like they'll never be together type of shit. I think that's probably what's going on with like her and Adam Eve. I kind of like her arc that she's going for. Like, oh, I don't really want to be a superhero. I just want to be a hero. Like, to the world. I think that's kind of
Mhm.
cool. Like definitely kind of like heroic and like kind of apparently in the comic she goes to Africa and makes like her sanctuary, but in this one she just goes to like some forest and stuff like that.
Random force.
But it's cool. It's cool. We figure out that the robot is cloning like Rex Explosion from like that sample he took the other, and it's like he half the organs are done, and then the twins were like, the twins are trying to find like the twin clones are trying to find like some background insurance, which I thought was interesting, and they go to the grave of the immortal, like the
Mhm.
superhero from Guardians of the Globe. You think they're gonna bring him back?
I think so because
Like,
they.
or you, like they have, yeah, they have to bring him back to life. Like, or you maybe clone him because
Quite close.
they kept his like. Remember, the government kept his head like sterilized, separated, and it's
Yeah.
like immortal. He literally could come back to life in any way as long as he's like has his head. I'm assuming. Um, so interesting. And then if Immortal comes back, is that gonna be a crazy like thing with Omni Man?
What if I'm assuming the robot is just trying to. I think he just picked the douchebag as like a test subject to like clone him.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering if his whole entire idea is to just see if these guys can do it perfectly, so he can clone a body for Immortal Man, and then they'll reattach the head, so that way they can confirm that Omni Man killed.
I
The Guardians of the
think you remember episode 1 or 2 or whatever, where the robot goes to that weird facility and sees that weird, like little yes, the plan is coming together, like that
Yeah.
dude. I think that's robot.
Like the real robot.
I think that's the real robot. Because remember in this episode where he was like, I have multiple drones that could do other things for me, and that drone died collecting the flower, right? I think maybe it's like, you've played Fallout New Vegas?
Yeah.
You remember Mr. House?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
How he was like the robot, and then in reality, it's just like this old ass dude, like that's just like in the back.
Connected to like the cyber.
I think it
stuff.
might be a Mr. House scenario where
think it's possible.
that little like thing is robot, right? And he has a bunch of robots, and maybe he's trying to make himself a perfect body out of her explosion.
So he can have a body inhabit.
Yeah,
I can see that.
because we learned from the cloning device that it transfers the brain into a new body, or it copies the brain into a new body, right? So it's like, what if he's just gonna transfer his brain from that little nasty, like, yes, the plan into Rexplosion?
I can see it.
That'd be funny. I wonder how Rexplosion's gonna feel seeing a copy of him that's someone else. I also think, what if Robot is like, if that what I just said isn't happening, what if Robot is trying to make a body for Monster Girl? What if he's trying?
Maybe?
What if he's trying to fix her curse?
Oh, he could.
Because like he's really attached to her. You know what I mean? Like, and he knows a lot about her physiology. Maybe he's trying to make like the perfect body for Monster Girl that won't de-age when she transforms, and it won't affect her anymore, and she's away from the curse. Or maybe she's just a regular person if she wants it. Like.
Yeah.
So, because it seems like the attachment with Robot and Monster Girl is definitely there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like interesting, for sure.
It was. Wow. He said he was there for her the whole time.
Yeah. And then he's programmed to care and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
who programmed him? You know what I mean? Like, and then we have the kind of like subplot of Omni-Man's wife, Mark's mom, discovering with Mark Hamill's character, the Taylor, that Omni-Man did do it, which makes me really nervous that Omni-Man's gonna kill Mark Hamill's character. I thought it was gonna happen this episode. I honestly thought it was gonna happen. I thought he was gonna kill him, but I think it's inevitable. I think he's definitely gonna fucking murder him. And oh, by the way, I didn't realize this. You know how last episode they were in the homeless shelter? Remember in like episode 1, the little girl that was with the Martian, that was like taken care of by the Martian?
Oh yeah.
Did you know that she was at the homeless? She was at the homeless shelter.
Oh my god.
She was in the fucking homeless shelter, dude.
That's fucked up.
It was so sad. I realized that. I was like, oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so shitty.
She's homeless now, dude. Like, and she'll never know. She'll never know. You know what I mean? She'll never know what happened. Like, oh, that's so nuts. Okay, so let's get to like the main plot of like this story, right? Mark goes to college, like to go tour college. Apparently, in the comics, that's the college that Mark goes to. In the comics, at this point in time, Mark is a student there already when this story arc happens. So that's kind of like the thing that changed a little bit. But it's discovered that someone's making RoboCops, right? Essentially, a dude's making RoboCops. In the comics, he started off with dead bodies and corpses, which was kind of teased at in this episode with like the robot corpses hanging from like the ceilings. And then eventually that guy worked into like live humans and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see like this tech and stuff like that. And this guy, this crazy dude, and with like the whole scene with Mark's friend where he discovers his identity and all that. I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like if one of my friends became a superhero, I think I could tell. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially with like Mark's costume isn't crazy. Like it's just Mark wearing a costume. You know, like I think for most people. Yeah, exactly. I think like for most people would like realize that their friend. But I think that's like the whole idea of Adam Eve. Remember how she said she doesn't wear a mask? It's because she's basically invisible to everyone anyway. So it's like no one pays attention or thinks that I have potential to be a superhero. So no one really like cares. So it's like I guess. That's kind of interesting. Maybe that's kind of like the whole Clark Kent thing, right? It's like no one really thinks Clark Kent could be a superhero, so maybe that's why no one thinks about like, hey, you kind of look like Superman, like. So
come on, yeah, I could be a super.
That's giving me me, nah, bro, like nah. I have arthritis. Like, you think I'm gonna be a superhero? Yeah, but super cool. We saw like that fight, the whole thing between like Mark's friend and like that love interest he has. Apparently they date in the comics. It looks like that's not gonna happen here because he got turned into RoboCop. And yeah, it was just really cool fight sequence. I liked how like the whole like story of it. It was cool. As I said, it was kind of more like a filler episode, but it was still like a nice watch. I think it dropped at like 9 o'clock. Did you know that? Or like 6 o'clock?
Oh, it did?
Yeah, it dropped in like it dropped in the middle of the day. I was like, oh shit, on like Thursday. I was like, what?
Oh, had I known, I would have watched it way earlier.
Yeah, I was like, what time zone did it drop in? You know, like is it like EST? Is it like some random ass shit? Like it came out really early. I watched it way before Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like I watched it while I was waiting for Falcon.
Damn.
Yeah.
All right, now I know. On Thursday nights, just watch Invincible first.
Yeah, I know. I literally got like because I have like the Apple TV app on my phone. So like every time like a new show that I watch, because like my phone just knows what shows I watch. Like every time like the new like show airs on like its respective app, it will tell me like, hey, new episode's out, and I was like, and then it told me like, new Invincible out, and I was like, hey, I have like 4 hours, like this thing got crack, and then I checked, like, yeah, it was out. Like, oh shit, crazy. But yeah, man, what'd you and then hold up, anything else that we're glossing over in this episode? Nah, basically, or well, I mean, homie got arrested. I low-key think that
the jock and I want to say the punk kids at the end of the show.
Yeah.
That was all what's his face from Rick and Morty, Justin
Really?
Roiland,
That was him?
Morty and Rick. Yeah.
Oh no way! I gotta go back and watch that.
If you just listen to the voice, you'll tell immediately it's him.
Oh, I gotta go back and watch that. I had no idea. I wasn't even like thinking about that. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's exciting to see where the show's gonna go. Hopefully, next episode is crazy. I'm excited to see. I have no idea how many episodes this series, like this season, has. But I also did hear that Invincible is getting a live action movie.
It's gonna get a live action movie.
Live action movie. Yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So, that's pretty sick.
That's awesome.
Like, I'm curious who's gonna play all these characters. Dude, J.K. Simmons could be Omni-Man. He's the voice actor anyway. He could do it.
Yeah, he could.
He could do it 100%.
There is no. They haven't announced how many episodes there will be.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it's maybe it's kind of like. I mean, it's a long. It's a long comic run, so maybe like 8 episodes. So there's two more. We're episode 6 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like it's gonna go. Next week will be the finale for Falcon and Winter Soldier, episode 7 of Invincible, and then after that it'll be. Oh, unrelated. When does Mortal Kombat drop?
Next week.
Oh man.
Or no. I mean, I guess this coming week.
Bro, we're gonna have to do a show for that. Maybe a late show to talk about that.
Oh, I'm gonna be off
Friday, right? Friday,
Saturday, Sunday, Monday this coming weekend. So
I could do either Friday or Monday because I'm not working Monday.
All right, for sure. Let's.
But yeah, we'll plan.
You're not working Monday?
Well, in that new set, I only have like 1 4-hour shift, so it's like.
We'll have to see. Because I know Aaron said he wanted to maybe do an ice party soon, so we'll have to see what days.
Oh yeah, in that new set, I literally have like 1 shift, so I'm free that entire week.
Entire week.
Yeah, Foundation will definitely be popping that week. You know what I mean? Because at least I have like the days off to do it. I think it's a good place to wrap. It's been fun to be back, man. It was a crazy week with work, man. It was such a drag. I've been wanting to just stream with Foundation for a while. It's good to be back. It's good to hear from you, Gabe. I haven't seen you because you're back at DCA.
I know. It's been frustrating.
Yeah, man. I've been so tired. I'm tired right now. You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I'm yawning and I'm like, damn.
I took a nap right before the stream started. Like I fucking dead. But I mean, hey man, it's good to be back. We're gonna definitely continue. Next week we're gonna be talking about Falcon and Winter Soldier finale. We'll be talking about if anything, maybe the next show might be on Friday again, depending on like how you said you're not working. Are you working this Monday?
Yeah, I'm working through. Yeah, so I'm off Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So we could technically do 2 shows. We could do Friday
and Monday
for Mortal Kombat and whatnot, and then we can also do Monday as well.
All right, cool.
If you're off.
Yeah, I'm up for it. So there we go. That's the schedule we're looking at for right now. So if anything, we'll maybe take another little like week intermission. If anything, I'm not working Monday, so if anything, maybe I might do like a small solo show. If anything crazy happens, like if, like if Willem Dafoe comes out next and says, "Hey, I'm in it too," yeah, like that'd probably be some shit that like something like last minute. But other than that, it's gonna be back. I've been streaming over at the Scheme Team channel, the gaming channel. I've been playing some GameCube games recently, which has been fun, man. I've been playing Tony Hawk Underground, and I just started Tony Hawk American Wasteland. So check out the Scheme Team if you want to check out some of that. I've been streaming here and then. What about you, Gabe? Where can they find you?
You can find me at Foster Soar on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch. I will try to stream.
Dog, hey, you
I have I have a 4-day weekend, so I definitely need to find at least a night.
Spider-Man Miles Morales, dude, do it. You'll
Yeah, I
cry.
may I
You'll
may
cry.
just buy it on PS4 and
Hey, dog, I'm telling you, I ain't no Spellman. I'll tell you right now, you'll cry. You will cry. This one will make you cry.
for sure.
But yeah, man, definitely fun. We'll see you guys when we see you. Thank you guys for checking it out. All our links and everything will be down in the descriptions of like the YouTube. They'll be down in the Twitches. Check out our Discord. Our Discord's a cool place where you could just like post memes, talk spoilers or whatever. It's a cool place, and you can follow us on our social medias and whatnot. So thank you guys for hanging out. It was a fun night, and we will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Later.